I'm Joy Randall, and I am a beauty entrepreneur and conversationist. I'm also the master cosmetologist at Essential Aesthetics and Laser in Charlotte, North Carolina. My background is in professional makeup artistry. For over 15 years, I've worked with celebrities, major networks, and national magazines. Makeup artistry led me to wanting to know everything I possibly could about skincare, which made me much more health conscious and finally led me to understanding the emotional connections to beauty. I've learned so much along the way, and I want to share it all with you here on Beautiful Conversations. I'm talking all things beauty with experts who are amazing at what they do. I hope you not only get to know them, but learn lots about the industry and how to achieve your beauty goals. So enjoy. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share it with a friend. So welcome to Beautiful Conversations. I am Joy Randall, known as the Beauty Influencer. And in this series, I am chatting with beauty and health experts to share the reality of the industry and not just the perceptions that we see online. And I am super excited to feature my first health expert today. Beauty and health really go hand in hand. It's just, one does not exist without the other. And so, without further delay, I am introducing Miss Cheryl Torrance.
Hey, yes, that's right.
Of Serenity Acupuncture and Wellness. You are out in Cornelius here in North Carolina. And so she is a Black female acupuncturist, kind of like a unicorn out here.
Right.
So Cheryl, just tell us a little bit about yourself, your background.
Okay, and thank you for having me on Beautiful Conversations.
Absolutely. The pleasure is all mine.
Wonderful. So I'm a native of Charlotte, and I went to school in Arizona. I went to actually two medical schools, one for naturopathic medicine and then the other for acupuncture. So in the state of North Carolina, naturopathic medicine is not quite recognized as a true profession for so many reasons, and it's only a few states licensed where they deem the practitioners as doctors. So in order for us to practice, we have to practice under another physician or another medical doctor, or we have to work in another modality, as in acupuncture, under somebody. So I said, I just might as well open my own and be my own person. So here in North Carolina, I'm a licensed acupuncturist. I love it. I've been doing acupuncture for over 8 years, but in business, a year and a half, and it's been great. It's been successful,
and
even through COVID.
Yeah. I have had Cheryl's acupuncture myself, and it is amazing, and she really is amazing at what she does. I'm not just gassing right now. You definitely made me feel warm and welcome, and just like she really takes her time to, and we'll kind of get into this, but in traditional Chinese medicine, I feel like they really, again, just make sure the emotional self is included in the healthcare. And so she really sits down and talks to you about, what you're going through, where you at, she's very patient. And we'll talk, further down the line about like what the treatments are kind of like, but still wanting the folks to get to know you. And so you said that you are a Charlotte native. And for those who I know may be checking this out, who are Charlotte, North Carolina natives, one cool thing about you and that we have a connection with is your mom is a teacher, or was a teacher at Garinger High School.
Right.
And one of my teachers. So, shouts out to all the G-Dogs out there who went to Garinger. You probably do know Miss Torrance. Yeah. That's your mama.
That's my mama. That's who she is, y'all.
It's a small world.
It is, and it always comes back full circle.
It really does. It really, really does. So acupuncture is near and dear to me personally. I'll just give a quick testimony for me. The first time I tried it was maybe about 2016, 2017. because I was really dealing with some hormonal issues. It all started, funny enough, because I was getting laser hair removal somewhere, which led me to electrolysis somewhere. And the electrolysis practitioner ended up saying, like, I really think that you have some hormonal imbalance. She connected me with an acupuncturist in Charlotte, who was really good. And she got me all in balance. And so, you know, I didn't have to take a bunch of medicine and all that. That was the route that we took. And there's nothing wrong with this woman. I will just say, for me personally, I was really, really excited because, you know, life changed. I had to move, had to come back, all that kind of stuff. But I was really excited to find a Black female acupuncturist. You know, someone who really, really cares, you know, about the issues that we face and, you know, just things that deal with me. So I really want to know a little bit about your experience as a Black female in this industry. I'm sure it has to be interesting.
Absolutely, it is. So I got into this whole natural realm of medicine, of healing, based on my own health journey. So I had a condition, a women's condition called PCOS, or a lot of women may have this called, and so if you're not like, PCOS, what's that? Polycystic ovarian syndrome. And so to break this down, and I've had this since I was age 13, on medication, on birth control. As I got older, I was on metformin, I was on the gamut of medications that doctors put us on because they feel like there's no other way, and they don't, you know, the education is not out there for people to know. So what PCOS is, essentially, is 10 or more cysts on each ovary, which can lead to fertility issues. I like to be positive. It can lead to acne. It can lead to a gamut of other conditions that we women face and have to deal with. So PCOS is if you've never heard of it, it's under the umbrella of fibroids and endometriosis. So most women on the planet have heard of or know somebody who has one of these three conditions. So when I was 13, of course, I didn't know about acupuncture. It wasn't as popular as it is now. So I was on the gamut, I was on birth control and all these things. And when I got 26, I was in naturopathic medical school, and I said, you know, there's got to be something. And I realized what we eat, and this goes into beauty as well, what we eat, what we put internally affects us outwardly, in some way, some form.
Bit of it.
every period of it.
Yeah.
So I realized dairy was the huge culprit, and I was like, all right. I saw that face.
Yes. You are strumming my pain, girl, with your fingers. Yes.
So I realized, like, oh, that was the culprit. So I took it out, because the medications at this point, they weren't even necessarily regulating my cycles, nor were they getting rid of the cyst, which is the main cause of all the issues. So I took out the dairy, and the cysts I could feel them maybe like shrinking a little bit in my body. And then I got regular, consistent acupuncture. And I still wasn't really a believer, because I'm like, well, I thought acupuncture always dealt with pain and things like that, knee pain or headaches. I never correlated acupuncture with women's health. So I got acupuncture, and then it wasn't until I saw it on an ultrasound where the doctor was like, you came in for cysts on your ovaries and we don't see them. And I was like, stop the madness. I dropped the mic, all of these things.
It works.
It worked with no chemical medication. So I said, I'm telling the world.
Which is another reason, you know, I just got a little chill when you said that. Again, why I said I was so excited about featuring you, you know, since the day I met you, I was like, oh yeah, you know, we gonna talk, we gonna do this. And I didn't even really know how it was gonna manifest, but here we are. but I'm really passionate about bringing this information to our community. You know, of course, everyone, but to our community specifically, because, you know, the healthcare industry is known to be, again, not very kind to Black women, not hearing their voice in terms of Western medicine, or just pushing, you know, a pill on us, or it's not focused on our wellness. You know, it's focused on symptoms and like getting you in and out, but there's so many other ways to really, again, focus on your health and remain well, you know, consistent self-care. And it's important to find practitioners who give a damn about you. You know, it really is, like I was saying, my first experience with acupuncture was great, you know, but it did become, especially dealing with something like PCOS, it did become a thing of, oh, okay, well, do you want to get pregnant? Well, do you want to get pregnant? Okay, well, I kind of don't care anymore. And the person was, you know, I'm trying to be cautious with how I say it, but they just weren't, I could feel some level of detachment, I guess you could say, some level of detachment, which I know in certain communities and cultures, that's just kind of the way that it is. That's just culturally the way that it is, you know. Black women, we like to love on each other. That's just what we like. Yeah. And so we gonna do that. We gonna we gonna love on you. And I need that, you know. So again, when I found you, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And I definitely want everyone out there, you know, beyond North Carolina to know, you know, that you are here, honey.
I am.
You are here. So with all that said, and we talked a little bit about, of course, you know, female issues that acupuncture deals with, but what about, I know it takes care of a little bit of everything. And let me back up really quickly before we even just go on acupuncture, because you do some other therapies too. You do guasha, and I can't pronounce the other
Twina.
Twina. I said that all wrong.
That's okay. That's okay. The intention was there. And cupping as well.
Yeah.
So what those therapies are, so I do the whole TCM, which is traditional Chinese medicine. So what cupping is, most people may know, Michael Phelps, when he was in the Olympics, I don't remember, 4 years ago or something, and he had those circular rings on his back, and everybody was like, oh, what's that? It looks painful. Oh my goodness. It was cupping. It wasn't done by licensed acupuncturists, but it is cupping, and it produces the same results to increase circulation and move blood flow. So Twina is a massage, but it's not a lot of people call specifically asking like, oh, you do massage? I see it on your website. No, it's a hurt so good massage, and it's a localized massage, meaning if there's shoulder pain, then it's just going to be on that shoulder, and that's it. And it may in me doing like the deep, I guess it's comparable to a deep tissue massage. In me doing it, it could hurt, and then I'll say, well, would you like me to stop? And you're like, no, keep going. It hurts so good type of massage. And then gua sha. Gua sha is what I use. So there's many forms of gua sha. I should say this first. I know what Joy uses is jade stone and jade, like a flat gua sha is just a tool that produces circulation. The one I use is a spoon. And it's, if you've ever eaten Asian food or pho or pho or egg drop soup or what have you, you've most likely used the gua sha spoon. And so once you clean this off and then, you know, scrape the body with it, it produces a linear hickey. But it's all about getting circulation, just like cupping is to the body.
Awesome. You know, it's amazing how, again, we're talking about health as it relates to beauty, but it's really one and the same, because the thing is that no matter what kind of imbalances we have, like the skin is just an organ. It's going to purge, it's going to reflect what is going on within the body physically, and I always say it tends to be rooted emotionally as well. But how important blood flow is to everything, you know, and if there's stagnation in the body, if there's blood flow that's not going somewhere. I had a treatment years ago, I can't even remember what it was called, but she did something called grounding. Long story short, what I took away from that was her saying, wherever blood is not flowing in your body, that area is dying.
And causing pain, absolutely.
And so I thought, and at the time I was going through something that was so like heartbreaking. And she was saying like, I was literally feeling those in that area, you know, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die if I don't do something, you know, and that was just from the emotional aspect. But the point is that a lot of these therapies, all these therapies are creating blood flow. It's creating life, it's creating flow, you know, to these areas. And so that's how important it is, you know, it really is. So let's go over some kind of cool things. Like what's one of the biggest misconceptions you think people have about acupuncture and what you do, or something really funny you've heard?
Three, I got one funny thing and two like big misconceptions. So the funny thing, a patient was referred to me by a physical therapist, but this particular physical therapist is also a dry needler. So
a dry needler?
Yes. So that goes into one of the misconceptions. So what a dry needler is someone essentially in the healthcare field. They could be an osteopath, they can be a chiropractor, they could be a physical therapist, they could be, you name it, somebody who went to school for something else. Dry needling health professionals, we have to have, and I'm sure health professionals, massage therapists, a gamut of people have to have continuing education credits. And these estheticians as well. In these continuing education credits for physical therapists and these people, they have a course called dry needling. So they cannot call it acupuncture because the education is not the same. And it's just in some cases, a weekend course to have access to needles and to put the needles just, you know, you say you have knee pain, okay, we're gonna put the needles right in your knee. But no other conditions can they fix or treat because they don't have the experience, they don't have the education, they don't know the needle depth, they don't have the 4 years plus 3 medical boards of experience. So a physical therapist who's a dry needler sent a patient to me. So I'm on the funny thing. He said, I'm telling him one thing funny and 2 misconceptions. So the thing that's funny is that she did all this research about a licensed acupuncturist. Mind you, she came from a dry needler. So she was thinking that she was going to get a pneumothorax. That was her biggest, it was funny. So what a pneumothorax is in English is because people are unexperienced, they put a needle in the lungs. So a lot of people are not aware that the lungs are on the front and back of the body. If you go in at the wrong angle with the needle, you have punctured the lungs, which means a collapse. And we definitely don't need these problems during COVID. We don't need anything going on with the lungs. So she came to me, and mind you, so I was kneeling down at her feet and at her ankles. And this patient said, "Oh, just be careful. I don't want you to cause a pneumothorax." And I literally looked at her and chuckled. And I said, "The pneumothorax is up here in the lungs, and I'm down here at your feet." So that was pretty funny to me that I was the one that she was very nervous about. So that was funny. And so another misconception is that people get acupuncture and it's a one and done service. A lot of people are like, well, I've had this neck pain and this back pain for 20 years. what is one treatment gonna do? Not much. I mean, you're gonna see some
Right.
results, but for 20 years,
Get like that.
right? I'm gonna need to see you almost every day.
Yeah. And I'm so glad, you know, another reason why I do this series is to continue to advocate, push, reinforce how important genuine expertise is, and that people have really spent time, have licenses, have education, have invested. You know, we get tired of competing and all this stuff that's online. I'm just all the way real. And it's
And
like,
Google ain't always the right answer for everything.
and again, like you said, it doesn't, just because I'm not saying what you want to hear or what you expected, doesn't mean that it's wrong, especially compared to, you know, whoever's popular online. And so it's important, you know, that we continue to put ourselves out there and really make the difference very clear that no, you know, I'm licensed, I know what I'm doing. I understand this person may have 1 million followers, but that doesn't mean they know what they're doing. Because most of the time too, we are here working. I'm at work, she's at work. Like, we don't have time to be sitting all day long posting. Okay?
Right.
That's the truth.
Real facts.
So I know you have to get to work. I would love, I mean, I could sit here and talk to you all day about, you know, just health and wellness, because again, it's just so important. I'm grateful for your time. Cherie and I also have exchanged some services in the past. Like she said, I do gua sha on the face, and you know, hopefully we can get to doing that again.
I'm done past due.
We both need self-care. It's hard to be the practitioners and then to get your appointments done and everything. But I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for your time. I'm grateful for what you do. And tell everybody how to find you.
Okay, thank you for having me. Yeah. So on my website, it is www.serenityawc.com. Serenity is spelled regular, all the regular spelling, SERENITYAWC.com. Or if you go on Instagram, Serenity Acupuncture Wellness on Instagram as well.
Okay, I'll make sure I have that in the info section so everybody can find you. And yeah, until next time, I hope you have an amazing day.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being a guest, excuse me.
Great. Okay, well, everybody, until next time, this is Beautiful Conversations. I hope that you found something inspiring, something helpful, and we'll do it again.
Yay, honey, and I'm gonna schedule my facial, honey. My gua sha facial, y'all should too.
Come on through.
Don't take my spot now.
Come on through.